Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is Tommy with Tommy's Talk Picks, joined by John.
How's it going?
We're here for the weekly Roundup podcast.
All right.
I hear
Let's
there's
do it.
outsider god cases.
There's outsider madness, and there's all things madness of outsiders is today's podcast topic.
Wrecking mayhem.
Mayhem.
So, let's get into it.
Yeah. Did you put your fishnets on?
Fishnets are on the
All
desk.
Right. We're ready to wreck mayhem then.
It is the playmat that I pulled out for the opening that I'm about to do, because
Nice.
I haven't opened any outsiders yet, but John, you have.
Yes, I have. It's a fun experience. I like it. I like outsiders. Even the bad boxes. I think maybe I'm just long in the tooth here. Maybe I've just done it enough times, that I don't feel bad when the box is not stellar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm used to it. I know what to expect. The expectation is 5 Majestics. That's including foil Majestics and then a cold foil per box. And it's averaged. So sometimes you'll get 0 cold foils. Sometimes you'll get 2. Sometimes you'll get a special type of cold foil, which I did get in one of my boxes. It's neat. It's fun. It's fine. I'm also used to not pulling anything good. So... Right. I think that probably helps, because I think some people are used to having good luck, and these aren't the easiest to have good luck with. It does remind me of the older sets, like the WTR days and such. Not as bad as WTR, obviously.
Pre 2.0.
What's that?
So is this what would you compare this to? So the only thing we can really compare it to is Uprising in the 2.0 draft world.
Yeah. I think it feels like Uprising. Uprising, I wasn't super thrilled opening either.
No? Not pulling the Dragon Marvels and stuff?
I never pulled one.
You didn't pull one?
I don't think I pulled a single one, no.
Not even the rare ones?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wow.
Told you, man, I got bad luck. I'm used to opening boxes that are dull.
Yeah. I think I opened 3 just drafting Uprising.
Yeah, well, drafting over time, that's actually quite a bit of packs if you play every week, so.
True. Well, we cut off drafting at our shop like 2 months in or something.
Yeah, that's 8. 8 times 3, right?
That's true.
It's a fair amount of packs.
True.
But I don't tend to get good luck with that. Yeah, if I got any Marvels, which I'm pretty sure I didn't, it would have been like one of the rare ones, which not the best hit anyways,
Sure.
I did get. I lied. Oh no, wait, that was Dynasty. Never mind. No, I'm pretty sure in Uprising I didn't get any Marvels. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Okay.
So. Yeah, it's fine though. I mean, I'm okay with it. I also know don't buy boxes to get the cards you want. So I have a budget aside for the cards I want on my shelf. I've already bought some of them. Probably paid too much, but I don't care. Like I just want them for my shelf. And then there's stuff I'm going to keep an eye on because I know it will come down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like absolutely.
That's the market we're in right now. It's the post hype dump, and there was definitely hype for this set. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, post hype dump is real.
Yeah. The fewer Majestics really caught me off guard.
What part of it? Like how so?
Just that they're just having less in a box.
Yeah, it's gonna keep the prices higher on the good ones. I think the normal ones are gonna drop just as much as normal. You know what I mean? Like the ones that people may need for a deck, but not every deck needs it.
Right.
But the generic, like awesome ones, those are gonna be. I think Surgical Extraction is like a little over the top, but not far from what the new normal will be. You know what I mean? Well, and the difference with Surgical Extraction was it was one class. I think the generics are going to follow suit in a similar. The power generics are going to follow suit in a similar vein. So they'll be $40 to $80. So
I don't know.
The new Command and Conquers or E-Strikes or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a couple. There's some hot generics in this set.
Yeah, there are, for sure.
And then there's some hot hybrid cards in this set, which is a new territory.
Yeah, hybrid is super interesting.
Yeah, I am curious how that's going to play out, because it's not going to be quite as generic demand and quite as in demand as generics, but also that will fluctuate with the meta, because like Assassin Ranger, for example, the codexes, right? Yeah. Like right now they are meta. We just saw a top 8 where Assassins and Rangers took I think 3 or 4 of the top slots in the
Mhm.
top 8. So because they're meta, those dual class that fit both of them are going to be even more hype,
That makes sense.
right? But then 3 weeks from now, when everyone's kind of figured out how they work and can defeat them easily, because assassin and ranger, question mark, big question mark. You don't, and I'll apologize to our listeners in a second. But say that does happen, then those values will come down drastically because they only work for the 2 classes, right?
Right.
So we'll see. And here's the apology. Just Friday, I was like, I don't think the threat density is there for Azuri, and then Azuri took number 1 of the Chicago Battle Hardened or whatever it
Did
was.
Azuri end up winning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Azalea ended up winning.
Azalea.
Azuri was number 2 though, and I
Yeah.
said she wasn't competitive, so I was clearly wrong.
Yeah, she has it.
The worst part about it is I actually reviewed that deck quite a bit before I came to that conclusion. It did change since I last saw it,
Yeah,
but I've
yeah.
been in the Azuri channels, and shoot, I forget his name. Shoot, what is his name? He posted it in the channels, so it wasn't Ben Dodds. That's it. So I got to play with it. I got to look at it. I liked some of the ideas in it. Others I didn't like in it. I clearly didn't read what it was doing fully, or
Okay.
there's some tricks to it that I didn't understand, or something of that nature. I
Sure.
think I
There always
understand
is.
them by looking at them now, but I'd have to give it some time and play with it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually already taking this deck and modifying it because I have some ideas that I think would be a little bit better.
Nice.
We'll see. I mean, and clearly I'm not very good at this, so we'll see what some of the top players say about this, and if they're like, nah, this is just a first time Missouri's been out in the field and no one knew exactly how to deal with her yet.
Right. Yeah. It's different.
First week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she may fall off very quickly. I don't know.
I mean, it's impressive to get there.
It is. It very much is.
But,
so we shall see.
Yeah. You gonna bring it to locals?
Yeah. I mean, that was the plan for a while. The question is, can I get the cards? Because holy crap.
Yeah.
Codex of Frailty, which is a critical card in that deck. And I called that one. I feel good about that. I was talking to at Dark Depths where I picked up some cases. I was talking to people there, and we were talking about the codexes and they were like, Codex of Blood Rot, and I was like, I think Codex of Frailty is actually better because the mechanics. I think we even talked about it, right?
Yeah, we did.
Like Blood Rot is better result, but the mechanics of how they work are so different that it matters quite a bit.
Yeah.
Frailty gives you card advantage, I guess, quote unquote, if you play it correctly. So you can pull out a 9 to 12 power turn easily, and you can actually go higher. And it almost encourages you to block 9, play it, and then play something from Arsenal, from like a Tunic resource or something. That then hits for more damage. Like if you do, was it Death Touch? So that's 6+2. So it's another 8 for a Tunic resource, and you're blocking 9. So yeah, you can make a good tempo change turn with just that card. It's good. It's very good, and you can't do that with the other ones. They don't operate the same. They put the cards in different places. They require a card in hand or whatever. They have different mechanisms for activation, so they just don't have the same power.
True.
So it's pretty cool. I can't claim to have seen it right off the bat, but in talking to people in the Uzuri channel, that conversation came up a lot about the codexes and which were best and how they worked, what was good about this versus that. So
yeah,
I learned a lot.
I hope the meta gets really shaken up and hope we see some new decks.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy sitting as a Dory player, though. Seeing a lot of Rangers and Assassins around.
Do you think Dory's good into them?
I think so. I think Dory's good into Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah, Azalea definitely got pumped up, although someone was saying the only thing that was added to her was the Codex. I find that hard to believe because there's so many good Ranger cards. Maybe for that particular tournament.
Right. I mean, there's the Pomps. There's the There's some good
Yeah,
arrows in there
I
too.
haven't seen the deck list for that
Yeah.
tournament yet. I don't think it's been posted. I saw those everyone because someone knew who wanted and had access. They had it on February
Right.
openly. The Zuri deck, I looked for it on February and I did not see it, so I don't think it's been posted yet.
You mean the Azalea deck?
I'm sorry, yeah, Azalea, yeah, that's what I meant. So, I do want to see what that is. I'm curious if they had any special deck tech in there. I'm guessing some because there's so
You
many
have to.
pumps.
Yeah. Azalea doesn't
But
just get to 7-0 with no new cards, I don't think.
Codex of Frailty is pretty good.
I know.
It could just be that. Like, I wouldn't be completely blown away if that was true. I don't think it was true, but I wouldn't be completely blown away if it was true.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to take a look when it comes out.
Yeah. Monday, I assume they'll post it.
Yeah. So what did you open? What did you pull? Anything fun?
I pulled all sorts of stuff, but I don't want to give it away. You gotta watch the videos.
Oh yeah, that's true.
See, because I am a good content creator, Tommy, and I record every box I open.
And I am a mediocre content creator who sometimes records boxes he opens.
And almost every time opens a Fable off camera because he refuses to record every box. Just
or I record the box that I pull the Fable and then the file gets corrupted.
Well, that did happen once, but that one you get credit for because you tried. It's just ironic that also happened.
You get credit for trying, yeah.
Yes, you do get credit for trying because at least you recorded it. Like, and that was the thing. I didn't care if you ever did anything with it. I was just like, just record it just in case, and then you can make content out of it if you do. And now Tommy's like, I just feel like opening a box. I don't want to set the camera up, and then he pulls the Fable. Of course, that one time.
Yeah.
And then the next time he does it, and then the next time he does it.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been seeing so many Fables in this set. I wonder how common it actually is, or it's just...
So yeah. Do we want to get into kind of the main topic of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy crap. Our stats are all wrong.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about this.
Everything we know is a lie.
Yeah, basically. The min-max stats, they were what they were, and they're probably close to the general...
500 boxes, I think, is a good sample size.
Except it wasn't.
I know.
Because there was really busted boxes. And for every busted box, that's like, 10 really cases that are messed up, that are wrong. That should have had legendaries that didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or whatever, So I think all the stats are off. We're not sure. We haven't heard from LSS what the story was, but as of right now, I've seen at least 2 videos of just utter god boxes. And I'm talking every other pack pulling a legendary sort of thing.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I saw it on video. It's not like it was made up. There's a stack of packs there.
So you saw, yeah.
Yeah, guys ripping it, and he's like, okay, this one doesn't have one, rips the next one, and he shows it because he's into the box like a quarter of the way, and there's like 5 legendaries there. And he rips one, and it's not a legendary. He rips the next one. He's like, look, legendary. Puts it down. Goes to the next, rips that, not a legendary. Rips another one, there's another legendary. Puts it down. Like, and it just keeps happening. Like 2 to 3 packs, a legendary. It was insane. So there was a rumor, and it was very unsubstantiated, like I think Friday, the day of, that someone pulled 16 legendaries in one box. Everyone's like, yeah, right. It's BS. Okay. It's just a picture someone set up, that sort of thing. Right. But now I've seen a video where it makes it believable. I don't think it was 16 total in that particular box, but it was close enough where you're like, oh, okay, now I kind of believe that might have happened.
Yeah.
And then there's been rumors of, just like crazy boxes and cases and whatever that have like completely off kilter amounts in them, like 3 Fables in a case.
Wow.
And then multiple legendaries. And that's like not like the God box, even though that should be the God box. Like that should be, and it definitely wasn't. So definitely clumped. I think we're pretty confirmed on that. Word is, and this is unsubstantiated, but I think it's probably close to being confirmed as 100%, that it's Belgian boxes, where originally the clumping concern was in Japanese boxes, I think, just because it's a clumped set. And I think my guess is they designed it to be clumped intentionally for one purpose or another. I'm not 100% sure on that. And then it got screwed up and kind of became over clumped on one of the prints. I have a couple theories as to why that might have been a design choice, but point being, it has happened. I think what this means short term for the market is that valuable stuff will drop like a rock
Yeah.
because if I pull 5 of something, I'm going to sell 4.
Right. That's what
You
I
know,
just pulled up TCG Player to take a look.
yeah. And a lot of the legendaries are under $50, rainbow foils.
Yeah.
The cold foils still seem to be rare. I will say that. So their prices are under $200, which is pretty good for first day, third day, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. But not like they're overprinted sort of thing. The Marvels are mostly holding up with the exception of Inertia, which is kind of the bad one.
Yeah, it's under 200.
Yeah, it's been under 200 since like Friday. Like that, it's because everyone knows that one's not good. The mechanic and the result are both not great. So it's like that was the last one I went to acquire. I was like, I'll wait, it'll crash. So, Plague Hive Rainbow Foil, there's been a ton of them, and it looks like the price is kind of recovering because it dropped pretty low pretty quickly. But I think it got bought back up.
Yeah,
because it's still Fable. Like
sure.
that's any discount on a Fable, people should pick it up because it's still Fable. You know,
right?
Although Rainbow Foil, I'm like less interested in usually.
Yeah.
I may do it for this one because it's an assassin playable.
Yeah. And it seems
but
pretty playable.
I'm kind of like I got other things that I want to spend my money on right now. You know, I'm not too worried about
it's going to come down. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like critical for my deck. So, some of the majestic. Well, let's stick on this topic first. The extended arts seem very rare based on the min max stats, right? There's like 1 per 12.5 cases.
There's only 2 listed on the trench coat.
Yeah. So the trench coat has gotten bought up. It did drop in price the fastest. It was one of those that essentially
it doesn't have the cleavage of redback.
I was thinking the same thing. The waifu tax was the key reason between the difference. But
I mean that art
said,
though.
Yeah, but that said, on the sale channel, the purple channel, you know, the selling channel, that came up probably 4 times as often as the redback. Now, is that because people are opening and keeping them? You know, the redbacks, they're like, I don't want to sell this.
Yeah.
Or is it because they really are showing up more often? When you see a spread of like, we opened 500 boxes, here's all the things we got, it looks like they're evenly printed because you have 10 redbacks, 10 trench coats, and the extended art. So I'm guessing they're equal stats. I think it's waifu difference. Like I really do.
Absolutely.
But it's hard to say at this point. It's early days still. They do seem to be pretty rare regardless, because the fact that they're still holding up at this point when we've seen lots of people pull lots of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is a wild one.
Yeah, this is fun. We're having fun, right?
I mean, I am. I love this stuff, but I remember warning you like 2 weeks ago. You're like, Fab is fantastic. It's totally stable and perfect. I was like, man, what if they mess up this release? Well, I know, but you seem very all gung ho, and I was like, what if they mess up this release? And sure enough, here it is. And it's like, this is gonna shake some people.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I don't think it's the end of the world. The sky's not falling.
Nah, I think some of the collector. Honestly, what I think is everyone's like, oh, this is a crazy different pattern, because the historic pattern is.
I think some people will get screwed early, and some people will make out like bandits early. But at the end of the day, the set just came out. Like if you're worried about buying or missing stuff and having FOMO on cards the first weekend of the set,
first days into the set,
it's like
take a breath.
Yeah, for real. Like these cards aren't going anywhere.
Oh yes, they are. They're going right onto TCG Player.
Oh, I know.
Bringing the price down.
Yeah, no. But what I mean is, like, you will have the ability to get them tomorrow.
Yes.
And the next day. Yes. And the next day.
Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to like Wave 2 yet.
Right.
Which, God knows how they printed this, but I'm guessing it's all printed already.
Yes, I'd assume so.
I am a little afraid that this clumping is like real bad, and it's Wave 1 has all of the legendaries and extended arts for the entire thing.
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh my god, dude. Some of the sets, like people opened a few hundred boxes and they got dozens. Like it's crazy some of the clumping. And this is assuming you believe every picture you see on the internet, which of course you shouldn't.
I mean, it is on the internet, so it must be real.
It is on the internet as a picture of a lot of cards, though. So I don't know how you would fake some of it, because it's like, yeah, they have the legendaries.
Imagine if our group all got together and we all opened all the products that we were planning on opening together, and then just put all the ones that we pulled into a picture.
And it would be nothing like these pictures. I'm telling you. Okay. I'll show you some of them. Clearly you haven't seen them yet. I know you've been busy.
I had a eventful weekend.
We'll have to talk after, but yeah, no, clear. Like you need to see some of these pictures. It's insane. Some of the pools, it's insane. Someone posted they did a draft in Portland, and it ended up being. Did you see that? It ended up being one of the God boxes.
Yeah.
So they drafted 4 legendaries? It's like crazy in one box.
Have sideboard legendary cards for your draft.
Can you imagine that draft though? What an experience!
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of why I think it was partially intended. This is where I think they designed it to be clumpy, not this clumpy, but like clearly something went wrong. But I think, my thought is if you were going to make it clumpy, it may make draft more interesting longer. Because every 10th draft, people pull all these legendaries in one set, and you guys face off with legendaries. That would be fun. That would make draft like, hey, what if it's this week? You know what I mean? Don't you think?
Yeah, it would. I mean, it certainly adds that. Oh, could you imagine? Or the what if? Or
it makes people want to do it longer. And since we know it's going to be a while till the next draft set, they need to. I think the 6 hero thing was step 1. The hybrid cards was step 2.
Yeah,
and maybe clumping was intended to be engineered in a way that it worked well and not as it did this time with Belgium. But, and if that's the case, if it was partially to make it more fun to draft, I'm here for it. Like I can appreciate open up dead boxes to make draft more fun in a drafting product. I'm okay with that personally.
Yeah, I don't think it's intended.
No, not the extent it happened, clearly. Like having a case with that many, or even a box with that many, that's obviously something got messed up in Belgium.
Yeah.
But having it designed to be clumpy, I think that's something that they probably do experiment with. What's more fun? Everfest, where you're guaranteed a cold foil trinket and they all go to $2?
Yeah.
Or sometimes a box with a Fable and 2 legendaries.
Yeah.
Not every time, but sometimes.
Or 2 Fables and 2 legendaries.
From a marketing standpoint.
From
a marketing standpoint, I guarantee you, example number 2 will sell more boxes because that's going to go viral. Those God packs go viral, and people are going to be hunting for them. So, I think to a degree, it was probably engineered, and then I think it got messed up. It clearly got messed up.
So every sealed case could be it's possible to be a God case.
Yeah. So it is one of those things where I'm curious. I look forward to their write up in a month or whatever, like they did before.
You think they'll make a statement about it?
I think they have to.
You think?
Yeah. It was too extreme. It'd be one thing if it was as we're describing, occasional God box. It's another thing where multiple people are saying they're pulling 16 legendaries in a box or whatever.
Opening weekend,
yeah. And that's exactly. On the first week,
Yeah.
Like that.
Which, I mean, to be fair, probably the majority of it is open the first week.
It is, absolutely. They know that, or we know that from Pokemon stats that's how it works. Assuming this works like Pokemon, which I can't imagine it doesn't.
I mean, in a player's market, you would assume so, right? Like people they want to
fill the cards
set, and they want the cards, and then they're good.
And there's new tournaments coming up, so they need them. For sure.
Pro Tours next month.
Yeah. So, very interesting. We shall see what Elsa says. Again, I'm okay if they're experimenting with clumpiness. I understand where it a little feels bad because people don't like having dead boxes. It does stink if you can only afford one box.
Yeah.
And it just is 5 Majestics and a really crappy cold foil. But some boxes have to be that. Right. You can't not have that. That just has to happen if you're going to have a randomized box situation.
Right. But also at the end of the day, packs are for draft. If you want cards, buy singles.
Absolutely. I
I mean,
100% agree.
yeah.
I literally have less boxes and cases of this than every other set before it. And I will probably keep it that way. Like, I don't intend to buy more. I think I'm just going to buy singles from here out.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to go on an opening spree today and open a bunch.
Because you haven't opened anything yet,
'Cause I
though.
haven't
That's
opened anything yet.
like, yeah, everyone, most people have opened
Yeah.
at least a case.
I know.
Well, case people have opened a case. You know,
Yeah,
everyone's opened their opening day stuff.
Right.
And you've been away, so you missed that chance.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then, but I actually do think long term I will hold more boxes of this set than previous sets.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think this will be a set that I will want to go back and draft.
Yeah. So just for record's sake, because I've mentioned it every set, I have 3 cases for myself for this set. 2 of them are going to go on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
That's the plan. So we'll see if I can hold out, because I'm very tempted to open the second case. I'm very tempted.
I mean, yeah.
But I intend to hold out. We'll see. Let's check back next week if I opened it or not.
You'll open it in 2027, and there'll be a Fable in it, and you'll be like,
well, that's. Yeah, right. No, watch it be like a god case, and it has all the
cook on the shelf.
It's like the one time I didn't open, and the one time I would have pulled like the most things possible.
Yeah.
My luck would have
holding out for this case. Yeah.
Of course, that is how my luck would work. That's exactly how it will work.
It just needs some more time cooking on the shelf.
Yeah, clearly. What else? Anything else about this crazy set?
No, I'm excited to play. I just want to play.
Yeah, me too. I want to build this deck. I got most of the cards because most of them. Oh, here's a fun thing. Looking at this top 8, what we can see of it, the Zuri deck, it is heavily rares and commons, so it's not like a crazy deck. It has a few of the expensive cards like Frailty.
Any legendaries? What are the legendaries?
It does have the Flick Knives, but that's $60 right now for Rainbow Foil.
Sure, so not.
And it has the boots from the last set, so if you're a collector, you already have that. Yeah, that's like, it's not crazy.
And I'm sure the rainbow boots aren't that
and
expensive.
The Providence, like, so your standard legendaries for any competitive deck, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, basically from a legendary standpoint, all you have to buy is Flick Knives, and then theoretically Nerve Scalpel.
Assuming you own Crown, which is no longer a cheap thing. Yeah.
No, but assuming you bought the other like main playables when they were main playables.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, if you're talking about a competitive deck, everyone has Crown of Providence in the competitive world. No one missed that, No one's held off for waiting to do that.
Yeah.
Black Tech might be a surprise if people weren't playing Assassin before,
Sure.
Because that was just last set.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking like LSS, I think, benefited a lot from Phi being a relatively cost-effective meta deck to build. Because the only thing that was really expensive was the Mask of Momentum, which at the time for a while was only still like $80-$90. Now it's expensive. But
so here's the thing, and I think we're saying the same thing. A lot of decks, when I was really caring about the meta, they were M heavy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, it doesn't have. If you have your staples, you're not paying for anything but Shakedown and Codex of Frailty. Everything else is a rare or lower, except for staples like E-Strike and Command and Conquer, which are both in there. But you could easily replace both of them with some of those new 2-for-6s. Like it would not be sad to switch those out. It would be slightly less efficient, but not like, especially Command and Conquer. While it's good, you could flip something else in there. They have other ones that work in that place in this slot. It's not like a need to have.
No.
E-Strike is kind of important because of its flexibility with the go again. This does try to go wide as a surprise turn. So you kind of do want a go again card. You'd probably go for a go again card in there instead of a 2-for-6 as a replacement.
Yeah.
But something like that, you can make it work.
Cool.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. We'll see how the deck goes. I'm excited to play with it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you aren't, what I just meant is like providing a easy transition from someone opening the set, drafting the set, playing the set, gaining those commons and rares, building out, and then to build out one of those heroes to a competitive level that you can show up to your armory and compete in constructed.
I mean, that is utterly dependent on what your local is like.
Fair. Fair. But what I'm saying is, I think they overall succeeded with Fi, and I'm wondering if there's a deck in this set that is going to do that. But with the Rangers, it seems like New Horizon is a price that it's kind of just a card that's needed, and even in Rainbow is over 200.
Yeah, I don't know if it is needed. I don't know. I know with Riptide, people were talking about it being important, but I know with Azalea, a lot of people run the other one.
Skull.
Yeah.
Which was $15.
Yeah, I was just say, what's it at now?
Forever. It's over $100 now.
Is it? That's what I was afraid of. I was like, I don't know that makes it any better.
Yeah. It's better than New Horizon.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know it was cheap forever.
Like, yeah, it was like $30. I got one.
I think I bought one or two at that price because it was so low.
Yeah.
I was just like, how can an L be that low? Look at L's that are that low and buy them, people, because this is what happens every time.
Yeah. But
hint, Bolton key L from last set.
Yeah. Oh, that that's gonna be playable.
It's definitely like the LSS makes it real easy for you.
It was what, like $17 for a while?
Yes, it's still really cheap. I think it's like 20 right now.
Yeah.
So, and it's gonna be playable, and it's gonna spike when it becomes playable, and it's probably in the next set.
I have my copy.
Yeah, I picked up another one.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But just because we're going to be starting at our locals, we're going to be starting a new learn to play kind of thing going on. And so I was just looking at the new set because that's probably what the new players will be opening and seeing like what's the best path to point someone down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it should be one of the ones that can be adult as well, not limit them to blitz, like with Arachne or Benji. I guess everyone else can play CC. But I feel like Ranger's also a tall ask for a new player.
Yeah, I don't think any of those heroes are really great. I think Azuri's probably the easiest, right?
I'd assume so. And then it'll get you up to speed on all the phases and reactions and help you learn that stuff.
Yeah, because like Azalea is tough to learn just because Ranger.
Right.
And Katsu is hard.
Also requires legendaries from early sets.
Yeah, no, because you could get by with links. There's some decks with pounding. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually played a couple of the decks that are pouncing link. So
link.
It is possible. It's not as much threat every turn.
Yeah.
But it also means you guarantee your combo.
One big turn, yeah.
Yeah, and the what's the one that what the heck is that called? Dishonor.
Mm-hmm.
That combo, like that is a important combo. If you can force that early using Mask, you may have won the game because it turns off the hero ability for the whole game.
Right.
So it's pretty important, and if you can figure out how to do that somewhat consistently, and there's enough cards now that get you on the path to it. You still have to Katsu correctly. Things have to line up, but it is doable. So I think a new player could master that and then become competitive without much.
Yeah.
Because the other equipment it had was like the one that's like the next attack costs 2 less, chest piece, cross strap, I think. And then
yeah. Hardened cross strap.
Yeah, and then one of the boots that was really nothing special. It was the go again one, but it wasn't Snapdragon, it was the other one. It was a cheaper one. It's like the one used. Well, the Snapdragon's one used too. There's another one. Let me see if I can find the deck. But yeah, anyways.
The one with Arcane Barrier?
Maybe. Yeah, that might have been it.
The one from Uprising?
Okay, I lied. It was just Snapdragon Scales. Yeah. No, Breeze Rider. Breeze Rider was the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it depended on what the deck was. Yeah, sometimes it's Breeze Rider, sometimes it's Snapdragon. My bad. I got it mixed up. But yeah. So, I mean, I think Katsu's possible, but Katsu's hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Being good with Katsu means really thinking deep.
yeah.
In my opinion, I could be wrong. I
I
haven't
mean,
played him much, but
maybe it's
every time
a.
I play him, I'm like, oh, I need to know so much to do this well.
But if it's an easy to learn, hard to master, that's fine for a new player.
It's true. That is true. Well, you want to open some cards so
I
you know
do.
what you need.
I do.
Um,
I played some Flesh and Blood this weekend though.
oh yeah, what'd you
Mhm.
play?
I brought the Dromai and Phi precons, Blitz precons, and I brought the Rhinar and Dorinthia and classic battles, and we just kind of jammed some games with those 4 decks and had some fun. Taught new player how to play.
Did
We
you make
got
a new? Did you convert somebody?
possibly. He's going
Maybe.
to check at his locals. There's a couple local game stores near him. He's gonna see if any of them have it, or like
Oh,
hold
he's
events
down in
for it.
Baltimore, right?
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Yeah, we know there's some game stores there
Yeah.
that play
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, I told him that I knew that there were some around there, but
Yeah.
not sure how close to him because I wouldn't. I mean, even if it's like a 30-minute drive,
Sure.
it depends. Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. He picked it up really quick. I mean, he plays board games and card games, and
Up his alley. Is
up
he?
his
Was he
alley.
a Magic player? Is he
Yeah,
that one?
he was. He was.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought I
Yeah.
remembered that.
Yeah. So we did play some Magic. We played the. He's a Warhammer fan, so we played the Necron Tyranid Commander decks.
Nice. What do you think of that?
None of our games were great. It was just
Oh,
one of us
just
landslided
trouncing
the
the
other.
situation.
Yeah,
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 that can happen. Those
yeah,
decks have some juice in
yeah.
them,
And I think
especially
it's
if
just it's
poorly
main.
shuffled.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And and the I think they're meant to be played in a group, just because with one-on-one.
That's true. You have no switch in target,
Right. Yeah.
so it's just all the power at one. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then what else? And we played a bunch of Dice Throne, which was fun too.
Cool. Very cool.
Both their regular heroes and the Marvel ones. So that was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Had just a relaxing day. Lots of cards.
I have received more of my crazy mail. If you guys watched my Saturday video, I believe it was, showing some of the stuff I've been collecting for a long time, 6 months or so.
Oh yeah, all the rainbow foils.
Yeah, rainbow foils and just stuff that I think will be worth something someday. Some of them are coming to pass faster than I ever expected. But yeah, I got a crap ton of tomes. Starting to grab Brainstorm because I love Mark Poole's art.
Cool.
That's one I'm going to collect a bunch of. And what else did I get this
I think
last
he's going to
week?
be at Baltimore, isn't he?
I believe so, yeah. Tome
You
of
gonna bring anything to
Divinity.
get signed?
What's that?
You gonna bring anything to get signed?
No, I don't believe in having my card signed. I hate that idea.
Really? Not even one?
No. I don't want someone drawing on my cards.
What about your playmats?
Playmat's tempting. I might bring the Harvest because
Yeah.
that is the piece of art that
Yeah.
got me into Flesh and Blood,
That'd
and
be
having
cool.
him sign it would be kind of cool. So
Yeah.
that is tempting.
Yeah, do that.
I still feel like it's kind of weird just having someone marker all over your stuff. but
No. That's what
Does feel
playmats are for.
Is it? Is that what they're for? I feel like they're for playing.
Yeah, but a signature doesn't stop you from doing that.
I don't know.
Doesn't remove the functionality.
Does it add value or take away value?
Does it add value to you?
No, not really. That's my point.
Well, then no. Then there's your answer.
That's why I don't really believe in doing it. I'm like I don't want you to draw on my beautiful mat. It's beautiful. Why would you write on it with a marker
That's
and
fair,
ruin
though.
the picture?
That's fair.
I'd probably do it if I still had two, because I used to have two, but I gave one or sold one to a friend. I can't remember if I sold it or gave it to him. That was just starting out.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see, but we'll definitely be at Baltimore. We'll definitely be. Oh my God! I just realized
What?
the drafts at Baltimore.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that room, something's going to be insane.
Yeah.
I'm already signed up for the whole go again. Like I'm drafting the whole
Yeah.
time I'm there. oh, I hope I'm at the table that's insane just because I want to play a like
Yeah, right. Yeah.
multi-legendary draft. Like, how cool would that be?
It'd
At
be
Pro
pretty fun.
Tour? Oh my god, that would be a story for the ages.
Yeah, I'm all signed up. I'm playing in the calling.
Do you know which deck you're bringing?
Yeah, Drinthia, for sure.
You are, okay. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if
hands
you
down.
had fully decided. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm starting to get my
Cool.
reps in. Like I am. I feel so confident. There's not one deck that I'm. If I sit down across from, I'm like, oh no. Pretty much every deck I'm comfortable against. Like I know what to do into it.
Cool.
Besides these new decks, obviously.
I
So I
was
need to
actually
get the
thinking
reps in.
about that because I'm like getting my brain back into like playing and
Mm-hmm.
being a little competitive, figuring out
Yeah.
how to play and all that stuff. I've been thinking about different mechanics, how to value things. I have a new theory on multi-turn value and how to do it because I like to play slower setup type decks
Mm-hmm.
rather than
Sure.
every
So how do
turn
you add
is a
value to
trade.
that?
Yeah, yeah. So how do you track value so that you don't get behind and not realize it?
Right.
So I've been thinking about systems for doing that, and one of the things that occurred to me was that the matchup variance mindset. Like you may have a core game plan, but you change it up. And I know this is obvious. Everyone knows that they have to pay attention to who they're up against. That's why you have your little sideboard
Yeah.
guide and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But thinking about the pacing of a hero and the optionality in pacing of a hero to maximize your probability of hitting tempo at the end, because everything matters at the end, right? The game is very flexible until you get to that last point. And if you own that last point, you're gonna win. If you get someone on their back foot when you both are at one or two
Yeah.
hit points,
Sure.
you're
Yeah.
almost certainly
Yeah.
the winning player, even if it takes 3 turns to get there.
Right. Right.
So I was thinking about, how do you design that intentionally? Like design the not just the game plan for the deck, but the actual flow of gameplay for each different hero. Because some are going to be really good at blocking all the way to the end, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
have to save your juice for that last few hit points, otherwise you won't make it through.
Right, because
Um,
then you have them on their back foot, but then you draw a bad hand.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And if you can't keep that pressure on, they are coming back.
Right.
Like
Right.
that is how it is. And then some of them have a regular threat density. Like I would think like a Fi. I haven't played against Fi in a while, but I would assume Fi is like that. Like every hand, they can pretty much, if you leave cards in their hand, they're gonna have a good chance of going over the top. And then you're
And it's
losing
so hard to rip
tempo.
cards out of Fi's hand.
Yeah, exactly. So
Then
I
you
was just
hold on
thinking
to the
about how to think about that, like as part of the sideboard plan, more than just cards, but also like, okay, when you get to, I'm just gonna make up numbers like 10 health against Bravo, you need to start thinking about how this works. And if you haven't been pitch stacking and things like that before this point, then here's where your risk factors come in and how you think
Mhm.
about that. So I know it's something people think about and they're very good at. I'm just starting to explore that part of the game, which I find interesting and kind of like the next tier of thought.
Sure.
And what I was thinking about while I was just, mentally just going over this idea is like mastery of a hero is like really mastery of their abilities and when and how to use their abilities, right? Not just their like card abilities,
Against other
like
classes. Yeah.
yeah, their deck, their cards, their
Mhm.
combos, their strengths, their weaknesses. It's like, oh, I pulled two blocks. This is how I have to deal with this at this era of the game, like
Yeah.
step 3 of the game. Because if I don't do it correctly, then I'm done. Like
Yeah.
I've lost, even though it's 4 turns until I lose. It's just that
Yes.
will be the end at
That's
that
the
point.
turning point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it had me thinking a lot about that, and it was just interesting to think about. And like a true mastery of a deck or a hero is like really understanding both their strengths and their weaknesses, and the timing with which it matters the most.
Right. So like here's a good
Yeah,
example of that,
yeah,
right? So with Dorinthia, Route can be a very powerful card. However, you would never want to play Route into a ninja. Or like it's a one of because it's in the 60 card deck that I play. And
Mhm.
sometimes it helps. But the vast majority of time when you draw Route against like a ninja or something, it's cost 2 to add 3 when you have other cards in your deck that add 3 for 0 or 1.
Right. So
And
it feels
then yes, but then you don't want to play those zeros because those zeros require the reprise of your opponent blocking, and then if you have two of those in your hand, then you just can't cycle them out, so they get stuck. So I actually take out the routes and I take out the reprise cards and add
it's
more
not
of his
blocking.
one pumps because
Yeah,
he's not the ninja is not gonna block.
yeah.
And
Makes sense.
so, but then if I'm going against the Guardian, who's just going to, every time I present 3 with my sword, put down 9 or whatever, um, I can still leak through with a route.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Hmm.
That's just the deck sideboard. I'm talking about also on the timing of it. When do you
Right.
use route? Like if you run into route in the beginning, do you use it against Bravo or do you wait?
Yeah. No,
Do you cycle it?
no. Oh, I see what you mean. I mean, yes, ideally it's to finish off the game. But
Exactly, because that's I've been thinking about that a lot. My wins on sealed
yeah.
were because I pitched my over the top reflexes early, or reflexes
Sure.
reactions
And
early.
sealed and limited is a different thing.
Sure, but the mechanic's the same. You want to have your power turns at the end because at the end is where everyone's on the most guard, right?
Right.
That's
And
where
would,
that's the end, you know.
the difference is that I have 3 power cards in my deck, not just 1 copy, if that makes sense. So like I can use it early, but I can still use it late because I have 2 other copies in my deck.
You never run out of gas. You've never overused them, used them too early.
No.
Okay, maybe that's just a very distributed deck or whatever.
Yeah, it's I have a lot of overlap in cards that do very similar things, just in a slightly different way.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's a slightly different story because like
because
Azuri
Dorinthia is a very
Azuri,
consistent. Like,
yeah, if Azuri was super consistent, she
yeah,
would do 6 block, 6 damage every turn, which is
right,
not enough to win a game. You
right.
lose. Like that's her consistent. Her consistent means she lost the game.
Yeah.
So you have to time those power moves. You have to, and you have to think about depending on the opponent when that timing is most important. Because like Dromai, you getting her on back foot has to be at the right time, probably mid game, because otherwise you need to disrupt her board setup, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think? I mean, that's like I said, I'm theorizing about this. I have not played these games yet, but that's how I was thinking about it. I'm like, And you think about Codex of Frailty, it's a tempo shift. Like I said, if you play it correctly, you can rack up quite a bit of value back at your opponent very quickly, and then that gives you the opportunity to win. But certain things have to be in place, such as having Death Touch in your graveyard already. If
Right.
it isn't, like if you get it early, it's definitely a pitchable because you want it at the end to finish off the game.
Right.
If you get it mid game and you have a Frailty in discard, then it's okay to play if you need tempo. But if you already have tempo, it's probably wasted to play it at that point. So you probably pitch it a second time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that you
can do
guarantee you have double density at the end. So it's just one of those things. Again, this is not new for people that have been
No.
playing competitively a lot. It's just one of those things. I'm getting to that level of thought process on the game, which I hadn't.
Sure, that's a new step. That's a big step.
Yeah, which is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh, absolutely, it's fun, and it comes from just getting reps with your deck and learning those weird case scenarios, and again, it depends on what hero you're playing against.
Of course, yeah. I mean, that's critical. Yeah, because everyone plays slightly differently, that's the mastery, is like knowing what to play and how to play against who, and then knowing how to pace it so that you don't, either run out of juice or maybe you want to, go full speed, like you said, race to the end sort of thing.
Right.
It depends.
Yeah, so like that's what Dorinthia does with aggro is she races them, and then will outpace them if they don't give up turns to block you, because of the counters, just from the counters, and then eventually you can pivot. So your racing costs 1 resource of swinging your sword, and you can use your other 3 cards to block.
Nice.
And yeah, then they just can't keep up in tempo. And then you mentioned Dromai, where it's really fun playing against Dromai because you hit a dragon, kill it with your first swing, and then you threaten a counter with your second swing on them, not having to use any of your attack reactions. So they don't know. So you basically have almost a full hand after pitching a blue to basically swing your sword and give it go again with a card. And if it's possible to get the pump onto the back end and then on the second swing through like a run through, you're coming at them for at least 5, so you're getting at least 2 cards out of their hand, and then the threat of attack reactions and a counter if it hits.
That's pretty gross.
Yeah. So there's just, I don't know. I've been saying it a lot, but I think Dorinthia's in a good spot. I don't think she'll be in the top. She obviously wasn't in Chicago. I don't know how many words.
I don't even think she played in the. I don't know. There's probably some percentage that played her.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wasn't in the top 8. That's true.
No. But I mean, people are saving their secret Dorinthia deck text for Baltimore.
Sure. Yeah. That's the story. We're gonna stick with that.
I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Your secret deck tech that you just described to everyone, that's literally the only way to play Dorinthia?
No, I just described the Dromai and the Ninja matchups.
I'm just messing with you. Well, we shall see your secret deck tech at Baltimore.
Yeah,
see how you do.
In the calling, not the Pro Tour. But it'll be fun.
Cool.
Good games, good people.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No. I think we covered the madness. We'll do a Tuesday card update. Go through some cards, see where they stand. Tuesday will probably be a pretty good day to do it because things should settle out by then. At least the first stage settle out.
Next time on Fab Watch.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, exactly.
I need to make like a jingle.
I was gonna say you're gonna make a jingle up now. Oh man, it's gonna get real weird around here, guys. I apologize in advance.
I accept no apologies.
Yeah. Our shop is going well. Thank you if you've been a supporter. I know we're mostly selling Magic stuff. We will be selling Fab stuff.
There's a reason we're selling Magic stuff.
Yeah, exactly. To capitalize so that we can get Fab stuff to sell to you guys. But yeah, appreciate your support. If you are out there clicking the link below and buying our stuff, because we've gotten a lot of volume recently. So very awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll get level 4 in no time.
Yeah, we got to be close. We have to. Like we're very, and once that happens, we can do a lot of things a lot easier than we are currently doing them by hand because the way TCG Player works.
Spreadsheets are fun. Well, until next week, we will catch you guys later.
Have a good one.